There we go. Joining us now live from T-Mobile Park is Mariners top prospect Colt Emerson here with us. How are you, man?
Good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's good. It's good to talk to you and take us through what today was like. Kind of an interesting way to handle a game. Not really a game in a traditional sense, but just your thoughts on how things went today.
It's been great. Today was a beautiful day out here in Seattle. You know, we got a great group of guys. It's just fun to be a part of this and fun to be back around some of these big leaguers, back around the guys since being in spring training, I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and it's just cool to be around the guys now that the playoffs have started, now that everybody's just trying to get a ring, you know what I mean? It's just super cool. Super cool.
Yeah. Hey, Colt, can you kind of tell the difference, like in intensity, for as much as you've been around the team? The fans here know that, like, it's been a long time. I mean, a few years ago they went, but the only team to not have won a World Series. And can you kind of feel that tension, or is everybody pretty loose?
I mean, you got guys like JP, a lot of guys in there. Super chill, I'd say. I mean,
yeah.
I know they got a bye week here, and they're not playing for a few more days. But it's really cool to see how relaxed these guys are, and the success they've been having is just great. And you can tell they're confident in their abilities, and it's just super cool to see that the game's still the game, even though this is the big leagues and they are trying to make a playoff. Or they are. I mean, they're making a World Series push. You know what I mean? So it's super cool.
What have they been like with you? Is the young guy out there? I mean, obviously there's some shine on you as the top prospect, and these guys are in the midst of a season handling their business. Just your interaction with them. Are you a guy that's asking a lot of questions and probing for info and knowledge, or are you kind of just kicking back and just watching?
Yeah, I do a lot of watching. I try to stay out of guys' ways, but at the same time, I'm learning what it means to be a part of a World Series push and kind of what it looks like to go about your day, especially, you got the ALDS coming up, and just seeing the way these guys go about their business has just been really great. And it's been really cool.
Hey, Colt, you grew up in Ohio. So, I mean, were you a Cleveland Guardian fan at all when you were growing up?
I was I was not, no.
Yeah. What was the team that you watched the most?
Yeah, if we were going to go watch a game, we would go to Pittsburgh because it was only an hour and 45 minutes away. Everything else was about 2.5 hours. Yeah. But we didn't get to too many games, but when we did, it would be Pittsburgh. So, Pittsburgh hasn't had much success.
It's been a bit of a grind for them.
Yeah.
Was there a player that you sort of idolized coming up that you wanted to model your game after and say, I want to play like this guy?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think a shortstop my age, I think they're going to say Derek Jeter. And for me, it was Derek Jeter. And just the way he won, the way he led, the way he went out and was clutch for their team. And just seeing that, and especially from a young age, he was I was watching him grow up. I was super young when he was at the end of his career, but I got to watch a few games. We went up to New York a few times during his final campaign, and it was super cool. Super cool. So I'd say I'd model myself after him.
So, Colt, it looks like you played a little bit of football as well, and you were a pretty good football player in high school. But what were the main sports, and at what point did you go, okay, I gotta concentrate on baseball?
I knew my whole life that baseball was going to be my pathway, but growing up, I got told play as many sports as you can. I wrestled, I played basketball, and then football was probably my second favorite. Well, easily my second favorite. Yeah, probably close to first. Honestly, I loved football. It was such a good getaway from baseball, and such a good test because especially in high school, the early years, like I wasn't that big of a guy, and I get beat around a lot. I get beat around a lot. You know, my freshman year, my brother was a senior, so I kind of got the crap beaten out of me that year. And then
That's good.
following years, you just kind of learn that to roll with the punches, and you're going to fail, you're going to get beaten up, but it's really how you get back up and how you go about your businesses. So I think that translates a lot to baseball, because, you know, you're going to fail. If you're a really good player, you're going to fail 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to learn how to get back up, hopefully 7 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, you know.
I also had a big brother that beat the crap out of me. It's good for you, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and out there, wrestling's no joke, man. You probably learned a lot about work ethic and grind and cutting weight and doing all that. That's a rough sport.
Absolutely. I wasn't built for it. That's why I'm not a professional wrestler.
Hey, quickly before we let you get out of here, it's been a rapid rise for you. Just looking at this year, you start the year in Everett, and then you move on to AA Arkansas, play 34 games there. Then you make your way to Tacoma, playing AAA, just a handful of games, but success everywhere you were this year. And just talk about that rise, and just how different is that talent level going from high A to AA, from AA to AAA? The stats tell me it wasn't a big transition for you, but what was that like?
You know, I will say everybody in professional baseball, they're in professional baseball for a reason. They have the stuff. Everybody's good. Everybody's great. Everybody's a professional baseball player. But me as a hitter, I got told early this year, last year, that the plate's still the same, the strike zone's still the same. They have to throw it over the plate at some point. So if you don't chase a bunch, you're gonna hit the ball that's over the strike zone. And I think, you know, it sounds stupid simple, and it sounds way easier than what it is, but going in my head, that's what it was all season. And I mean, there was times I struggled, and there was times I did great. And, you know, you go up and down, but you try to keep the highs high and the lows not too low. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think the more you can do that the whole season, I think the better season you can have. And I think that I had some low points this season. I had some really high points this season. I had some really average points this season. So I think just learning that throughout the whole season has just been great for my development and great for my mental, honestly.
Well, it's really cool to see that ascension that you had through the minor leagues, and I think it's not going to be very long before we see you out here playing 162 with the big club. So we wish you nothing but the best, man. Really cool to catch up with you, and we look forward to talking to you again. Thanks so much for the time.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me on.